My life together. Mm, mm,
Like, let me get my life together.
Oh, we gonna go live. We gonna go live.
Dun-dum, dum, dum, dun-dum, mm, mm. Well, hello,
Good morning.
everybody. Welcome to another edition of Brunch and Munch, and we are live.
We are. Mm,
We are
mm.
live. My name is CiaraWimby, and I am the CEO and founder of LIV You Nonprofit, and I'm also the physical wellness coach.
Indeed, she is. It is I, Cicely, the one with the cootie free kisses, and also the mental wellness coach.
Ooh,
And our third counterpart will be popping on any minute now.
any minute now. So
Look,
she's coming. She's been
right.
coming in and out today. So she's here. That we do know. We do know that she's here. She's here in the building. Who is live with us right now? I see somebody out there with us who's live with us. Say
Hey, hey,
hey to
hey.
us. All righty. I see Auntie Beverly says, "Hey everybody." Well,
Good
she says,
morning.
I'm
Good
sorry.
morning.
Let me be very specific. She says, "Hello, you all."
Uh,
Okay.
well, hello. Gotta put the little pleasantry in there. Hello.
Hello, everybody. All
Good
righty.
day.
She says cootie free.
You
Cootie
know,
free.
keep them coming. Cootie free, please, and thank you.
So today we are continuing on with our monthly series of speaking about spiritual wellness. Today we are talking about creating your spiritual wellness area, your space. What does that look like for you all? How do you do that? So let us know in the chat about your how do you create your spiritual wellness space.
Hmm.
Let us know. So, Cicely,
Yes.
your
Huh.
your spiritual wellness space. What does
Hmm.
that entail? What does that look like? What does that feel like for you?
Ooh, not so dramatic, really. No, so my spiritual wellness, it's a place that dwells within. Like it's within me 24/7. It's nothing that I can just, oh, I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna turn that on. No. Um, it's a part of me, right? And so just like every other aspect of me, it's a time and a place for everything, right? It's a time where I have to be a worker. It's a time where I have to be a mother, a daughter. It's a time and a place for all of that. And so I created a safe space within myself for my spirituality to tap into um, how I connect with God. So how I literally for me the morning is the time because the moment I wake up, my first thought, oh, got you good. I'm back. Whew, right. So that's usually the time that I set aside to go into my spiritual practices of prayer, of meditation, of praise, of worship. Um, that's what my spirituality looks for me. That's what it looks like to me. Um, and yeah, so what does it feel like? Surreal, um out of this world type of feeling. Like there's a when if you ever can describe perfect peace, right?
Mm.
What you have to realize is the word perfect is subjective, so it's different for everybody what they feel perfect is. And so for me, it aligns me with the perfect peace that surpasses many people's understanding. um and I'm okay with that, right? Because it's just like, wait, what does that feel? I don't know. I can't explain it, but it's dope as ever, right? For me, look, for me, it puts me at ease and it makes me tap into it often to make sure it guides my space and changes my perspectives on many things. Because many things that, that we, a lot of times we give our peace away. Let's just think about when we're in traffic. That mother, right? We definitely cussing them out, right?
Real quick.
Real quick.
Real quick.
Now I'm already snappy. So then my phone, like, hello, right? I didn't gave my peace away for somebody who was undeserving of it. And so with that, I learned how to remain calm, like go back and tap into my peace. Because sometimes it's the past other understandings. Because let's think about it. When you meet somebody who went through a situation, what's the first thing most people say? Girl, that couldn't have been me. Girl. Right? And it's like that person did what they were trying to do to keep their type of peace. Even if it was going off, that still was what they needed to do to comfort themselves. So mine looks different from that. Mine may not look like rah rah rah, even though, like I said, everybody know my default setting is violence. I won't lie.
That's her spiritual piece.
You know, because sometimes it's the slippery slope for me. I'm still human. Let's just be clear. But in certain situations when things are happening, I'm really like, how's that about to affect me? Does that happen? Like, really have to put in perspective, like, what is this doing for me in my life? Me speaking on that and stirring up the peace that's here. What is that doing for me? Right. So I've learned to tap into my spirituality where my peace dwells and let many things go that really don't directly affect me. That really don't have anything to do with me. But even though you sometimes you feel accountable because you're in a situation. Well, why you ain't stopping? Hell, that's a grown man. Why I was supposed to stop him? Why he
Right.
ain't stop himself? Right. So, um, yeah, that's what it looks and feels like to me. If that answers the question or not.
I don't know if there's ever a true answer to
you
anything,
know.
right? It just is. So let's see. Auntie Beverly says my spiritual moments space slash place is at 6 a.m. on my nature trail walks. And then that is my alone moment with God and nature and me. Wonderful.
Mhm.
So for me, when I think about that question for myself, um, my spiritual space is actually physical and non-physical. Is both, just like, with the whole I'm walking in nature, that's a physical
Mhm.
space, right? But then you're communing with God, so that's the non-physical space.
Mhm.
So I'm definitely a person that believes inside out always, because nothing can be reflected on the outside without it being reflected from the inside. So one of the things, when I think about in terms of creating my spiritual space, just in my home alone, because that's my most protected, my most sacred place
Mhm.
for me. When I look around my house, I say to myself, okay, is there chaos here? Is there any disorder here? What needs to be organized? So I never think about the thought of cleaning. I always think about clearing. That's what's always in my mind. Even if clearing is still attached to sanitizing your house, I think of clearing. I never think about cleaning my house. I always think about clearing my house. And so, whatever I see in my outside space, I'll always go to that, what is going on in my inside space. So if it's too much clutter, or things are not organized, or things don't look neat, or things aren't kept up well, my first thought is not necessarily what's going on the outside, but I'm thinking about what's happening inside of my temple, my
Mm.
this temple, not just my body temple, because I believe we have multiple bodies. So I have this body temple, but then my home temple. So I have two parts of my sacred space. So I'm like, okay, well, what's going on in this sacred space that's allowing this outside
Get that
sacred
happen.
space to look like this? And so I have to then go within and say, okay, you got too much on your plate, you're committing yourself to too many things, you are saying yes to too much stuff, you're not getting enough sleep. Or one of the things we were talking about earlier in terms of the connection of your mind, body, and spirit, I'm out of order in some one of my mind, body, spirit places. So maybe I'm not spending enough time working out or eating healthy, so now my spiritual and my mental space, um they may be doing well, but I'm out of balance in my physical space. But the reality is if I'm out of balance there, it's really going to cause these things to be out of balance too, because they're going to be overworked.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to look at that when I'm thinking about my my spiritual space. It's really even though again it seems like it's starting from the outside because I look at the outside, but when I see the outside, I'm just triggered to say, let me go back within and see what's happening in my space. So welcome, Stephany.
Hey,
We
girl,
let
hey.
everybody know that you was coming, girl. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us who you is, girl.
Well, since you asked. Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm Stephany, spiritual wellness coach. Sorry, I'm late to the party, but I'm here. Ain't no party like a cancer party. I'm just playing. I'm here.
Leo's in the building now. Look, we done with
Right.
Right.
A rising Leo, so I gotta, hey, how y'all doing back
Hey,
there?
how y'all doing? So the question we were asking was just in terms of your spiritual space, what does that look like for you? What does it feel like to you? What is your physical space? And Auntie Bobby says, "Hey, girl." So what she says,
"Hey, Auntie." So my spiritual space. That's a great question considering I have relocated. So what was my spiritual space is now different, and so I feel like how I create my spiritual space is through prayer. Like I pray in every room first thing in the morning, and I'm up early. So I walk through every room, every bathroom, every closet, and I pray to create the essence of spirituality in my entire home. And so that's how I start with creating that space. And then I also move into workspace and I make sure that whatever decision and whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm making sure that my intentions are coming from a place of a heart space and a place of kindness and a place of respect. And so I make sure that I intentionally go into anything that I do, especially in work or because, we work from home, work or social. I make sure my intentions are pure, and I don't know what other term to use outside of pure, but that's how I create my spiritual space is through my intentions. And so I want to make sure that I come across that I mean no harm. I'm not harming anyone. I'm here to spread love, laughter, lots of laughter.
You are.
And yes, lots of laughter and lots of joy and inspiration. And so I create my spiritual space through my intentions. And in my physical space, I pray. I pray in every part of my home to make sure that I keep that essence going. So that's how I create my spiritual space.
I like it. I like it. So
Me too.
we have out there. I like that walk through every room with a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next thing is what tools or artifacts or physical symbols or possessions do you all have that represent or representing or representative of your spiritual space? What is it that you put? I know if it's in your mind or if you're having a prayer, but what physical items do you all use to um, display or show within your spaces, your spiritual spaces?
So,
So,
go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, I'm sorry. I use pictures, colors, and the color spirituality is purple, but more so to align my spiritual space in the physical realm and the physical tools that I use. I use pictures and I put pictures up in my home that symbolize spirituality, like Buddhas or different religious relics or pictures that that gives off the image of spirituality, no matter what it is. If it's something that I can relate to internally, then I put it out for display externally. And so it's pictures that I find in different stores, and I even sage in my house. So I definitely keeps the sage. I got to keep that. So I got that going, and yeah, colors, pictures, sound, beautiful music. Cicely, what you got?
Girl.
Girl, she like, hold on before she go on that, because she like, hold on, let me put on my sleeve. So we got from the comment section, my Bible. I read my Bible daily and refer to biblical devotion, and of course my crosses and my angels.
Nice. Definitely my good old Bible. Always. My little basic instructions before leaving Earth, keep that around. I anoint my home with holy oil. I do pray and cover my home. I put, and if anybody has ever been in my space, I paint. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about it. So I paint, and they're all different paintings of women empowerment. Because greater is he that is in me, that is he that is in the world. And so my spiritual space reflects the greatness that he has placed it within me. It's just good reminders around that I am capable. I can do everything he set me out here to do, that God sent me here to do. And so the great reminder of that is my self-reflection and the strengths and the things that I've been through and the things that I've done. I also have in my space places like little placards of places that I've traveled, because also in my spirituality transcends me to all different places. And I know I'm called to the nations, that I will be able to touch the nations. And I've been going to the nations since childhood. And so that is also in remembrance, because with him, I can go and do everything and say whatever I touch will be all right, because it's already been written. And so my spiritual place is a reminder of that it's in the physical and the spiritual. It's spiritually, I put it out here, and physically, these are the places that I've touched within my spirituality. So
like
I love that. And from the comment section, I like that too, the women empowerment. For me, I use a lot of different tools or artifacts to express my spiritual self in the physical world. So as you all know, I love plants. That is my thing. Real quick sidebar, yes, my succulent did die. Have a great day, everybody. I told y'all it was gonna happen. So but I can keep other plants alive, just not them. For what I have some, but they're just not my thing. So plants. And so like one of the things you just said, Cicely, which is in terms of that travel since the beginning of time, all your life. I have been working with plants all my life, and I didn't always realize it. So my mom had a lot of plants around in our space, but then when we would have like those science projects you had to do for grammar school, my science projects always had to do with something about plants. That was it. Every year I had a new science project on somebody's plant. So I've always been working in that plant space. So and then I can remember the first time I ever lived by myself. It was my last year of college. And the first thing I went and did was go and buy me some plants, because my mama took all her plants with her. So I didn't have any in the house. So I was like, well, something's missing in the house. So I went and bought me some plants. So I have an affection for that needs to be in my space. Then the next set of tools I have, and this is because people were bringing them into my space, which were crystals. So I learned along my path that part of the reason why people are always giving me crystals is because of my the work that I do and all the lifetimes that's how people pay me, is through crystals. Because I was just like, why are people always giving me crystals? Like, I don't even know about crystals and people are just giving me crystals. Well, that made me have to go learn about them, right? Because hey, they just come walking in my house. Hey girl, I live here. What you gonna do with me now? So I've had to learn how to, care for them. So my plants, my crystals, I am big on essential oils. Like that's my jam, my honey, my peanut butter, and the bread.
Okay, all of
Um,
that.
Right.
it's a full meal. I put I have essential oils on me at all times. It is the way that keeps me calm and peaceful and happy. So I have to have that for that particular reason. And also the aromatherapy is just
Mm.
it just makes me feel good. And it's interesting because a lot of times, back to that being out and about, and especially during the time of the pandemic when, people were said to not be speaking to people because they were just so afraid that something may happen to them. People would still come up to me, oh my God, you smell so good. What do you have on? Is it this? Is it that? And I'm like, are you supposed to be talking to me right
Why are you close enough to smell me?
Ain't y'all supposed to be social distancing?
You know? I mean, but carry on. Because you was engaged. Let me, because you was engaging, but carry
Yeah,
on.
because I'm always still talking to people. Yep, yeah. Well, let me tell y'all what it is. Because also the scents that I use are antibacterial, antifungal, So these, I'm just not
They need
using
to know this education.
because they're essential oil. It's not just because it smells good. These things have real life purpose. Real life purpose. And so it's also warding off the things, people, stuff that don't need to be in my space as well. So I have a real clear reason why it's my peanut butter, my honey, and my bread, because it serves as a all encompassing purpose to protect my space. And my first part of my spiritual space is me. And so I'm gonna need y'all to back the up. I'm gonna back it up. So and of course, you have other things, but those I would definitely say are my top 3 things that I focus on, because I always have crystals with me everywhere I go. If I could carry a little plant with me, I probably would. I guess technically now that I'm locking my hair and, people consider this part of your hair as part of your plants. This is my plant on my head. So live, love, plant. That's what Auntie has, because that's also one of our groups. So if you all want to check out our group, Live, Love, Plant, we have that. So thank you for shouting that out, Auntie. So then my next thing I want to ask everybody is in terms of, and I know Auntie is gonna be like, well, I'm retired, so this ain't to me, but it can be to you. So like, how do you incorporate your spirituality into your work, into your friendships, into your community, into the people that are around you? Because we are still spiritual beings, and while we all may have different philosophies or religions or belief systems, how do you still hold your space for your spiritualness and still interact with others in the world and in work, especially when work is supposed to be a place of, no, none of that?
So I guess I'll go first. Um, so my spirituality aligns with my vocation, right? If everybody don't know by now, I am a doctoral candidate to be a clinical psychologist, right? And so if spirituality is what actually helps guide mental health. And if you pay attention to it, most people that suffer with mental health is because there's a lack of spirituality, right? Um, and if you want to dive deeper into it, because it's my jam, now talk some my peanut butter jam buddy. When you start to dive deeper into that, you'll start to see how many people, even though they have spirituality and they have some practices, it's in certain areas that they haven't attuned to self, which is spirit, right? And that they haven't opened that up to that area, and that's why they struggle. So it could be only anxiety in this one area of my life, only one thing called, seasonal depression. Certain things cause it because I may not lack spirituality all the way around, but in that area I haven't healed or even dove into it enough to know that it's a thing. But that's a different topic for a different day. But yeah, so my vocation is aligned with my spirituality because it's aligned with my purpose. Spirituality actually guides purpose, and so that's I walk it like I talk it, right? It is a part of every bit of me. Every time you hear me open up my mouth, no matter what version of me you're getting, if you're getting the mama me, the friend me, the sister me, the therapist me, the coach me, you still get an essence of my vocation, and which is my spirituality, because I know for a fact God's dwell within me, and which means when I open up my mouth, you hear a different version of God, because it's something that He's placed within me that I've chosen to tap into and say, "Hey, listen." If you want to listen to, cool. If not, that's cool too. But I walk it like I talk it because it is, when I don't, it's conviction there. How about that? But that's something that's, like I said, another conversation for another day. But that's how I implement it in my spaces.
I love that. Thank you.
How I implement it in
Oh,
my
it's not
space.
your turn. No, I was jumping.
Petty.
Very. That's the Leo season. Everybody
Leo,
coming.
time out. Leo, you saying Leo bring petty out? Because I just want to know if that's what you said.
No. I mean, I wouldn't say that, but they do help bring out.
I've had a lot of Leos in my space, so
okay.
Got bring out the fire. So for my space and my workspace, let me follow what Cicely said because she gave her stuff. I'm a law student, okay, and thank you. And my focus in law is corporate and healthcare compliance, aka people. So my things are lining up, and when I'm at work and I work from home, virtual space, I'm actually still communicating with people in a virtual sense. And so you really, at least I have really understood how sensitive people really are because their communication is not clear and their communication lack substance, or it has.
You went somewhere, girl.
Oh,
Right. So I have to remember that I'm still dealing with people. And so I didn't even hear what everything was. So I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. I didn't hear it. So I'm still dealing with people, and I'm in the people business. And in work, when I am dealing with people, it's about intent. And so my intentions with dealing with a person at work is to come across helpful and a team player and as knowledgeable as I can. I want to assist you. I'm here. One, I'm paid to do that. Two, I'm here to do that. I sign up to assist and help grow another person and help grow this organization of the work that we're doing. And we can do this by learning together or looking at a different perspective. And so I incorporate my spirituality into work by developing the person that I'm working with, by having them see a different perspective that is not usually something they would look at anyways. And so I get people to see something that is different in a very comfortable way. I allow the space for them to implode, or not implode, what's the term I'm looking for? I allow them the space to speak on whatever it is that they feel without having any sort of shame or timidness behind those feelings when expressing them. So I make people feel comfortable to be themselves. I give them the space to be themselves. And I don't give out judgment because I have plenty of stuff my own self. So my people been working overtime for a long time. And so we're now at the point where we don't have to work overtime. And so I don't give out judgment. I listen intently with the intentions to help a person see their better self. Because I don't know, I have an ability to see people for who they are, not for what they want to be. But I can help them get to where they want to be by seeing who they are and pointing out, you already do this. This is how you already do, X, Y, and Z. You're already behaving like this. Now all you have to do is just see it. So that's how I implement my spirituality at work. Now, in terms of friends, social, social. I recently looked at my natal chart, and Ciara's gonna laugh because in my natal chart, in the houses, I don't have the energy for a lot of houses. So I'm missing quite a few houses that are important in terms of the social and the friend. I don't have
So
those houses.
hold on. You got to give the people some context. So in
Oh
in
gosh.
in the natal chart, in the houses, generally there's a planet that holds space in there, and a zodiac sign.
Hmm.
So within her houses, they're like 12, it's 12 houses. And so they all represent some area of your life. So like wellness, it represents some different dimension of wellness in your life.
Health and wellness, yes.
And generally people have some type of planet or in zodiac sign in those spaces. She is void of zodiac sign in those spaces. So generally you would go and say, oh, I have so for instance, I know this one for sure because her and I talk about this one a lot. I have Cancer in my 7th house. And so she thinks it's so funny because that's the only place where I don't have a lot of water in my natal stuff. So I'm not really emotional like most people are. And I'm sitting there like, when y'all get through with all of this stuff, can y'all please stop? But in my 7th house, which has to do with dealing with your partner, your family, and stuff like that, I'm all like, so
Relationships.
I'm all like all in my feelings about stuff. So with her in the 7th house, she's void, which means
Yeah,
she just
I don't
there's
have.
nothing connecting her to that.
That's
I have.
why.
I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have.
The third
I don't
one,
have.
the first one. Yeah, I remember, girl. I was like, dang, you like it's like 5 of them she didn't have. 1, 3, 7. I can't remember the other 2, but it's 5. I promise you that one.
I don't. Yeah, and they all dealing with connecting with
So you don't
people
play well with
personally.
others?
I no, it's not that. I just don't play at all. So
Right.
I
She don't even come to play.
don't even. No, I don't play at all. So in spirit now when I do have my friends, because I do have a couple of them, I got probably about this good many right here, good 5 that I can count on hand. I know them by name. I know I'm gonna give myself the benefit of the doubt that there's
Said
5.
she know her friends by name.
Hope so.
I'm gonna give myself the benefit of the doubt. There's 5 more that I don't know yet because I can't think of them off the top of my head. But it's 2 of them right now that's sitting on the call out of the 5. I just want to say that. Um, I do know that when I do have my friends, I am there for you. And I do the same thing. I want you to see a different perspective. And not because I want that, but because you want that. You trying to learn something different. You trying to learn something new. You trying to develop you. So I'm not gonna be your yes man. I'm not gonna be a yes man. I'm gonna tell you, like, this is what it looks like. This is what's happening. Now how you want to do it moving forward. Now, depending on which of these 5 friends it is, I have to use different languages. Okay. I meet people where they at. I'm very good at meeting people where they're at. But depending on which one of these 5s, I know I have to use different languages. Okay. It's all love.
She told me that the other day that some of the times when she's telling some of her stories, although, you know, she may tell me the story, she needs to talk to another friend and tell her the same story because she's more ratchet. And so she gets, so
friend. Well, she try to, it's me. I'm motherfuckers, it's me.
So she needs the ratchetness of the conversation. And really all that's saying is that she needs to display her multiple personalities, right? She needs to she needs the various language of people so that she can interact with them. Because I was like, so like for instance, I may not be able to, you know, go in on the other way of the conversation. She's like, right. She's like, I'm so glad you get that. I said, girl, I ain't offended. I got you. Like, I understand.
Thank you. And then I'm learning how to even enter the social world, not let alone the spirituality part. I'm still been trying to figure out if I'm across the street to knock on the social door to say, hey y'all, I've been invited to the party, even though I got an invitation in the mail. So I've been sitting across the street like, do I really want to go play with people? There's so much that's happening there. So I'm still trying to figure out how to do that social thing. And people generally, naturally, I don't care who they are, I don't care where they are and what is happening. If they see me and they get a hello, and I can converse with people, no problem, but instantly they'll tell me their life story. It just comes out in floods. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And that's been my whole life. People have always done that. That's also probably another thing that's like, no, I don't think I want to go people in today. That's a lot. I don't think I want to do the people stuff today. I'll sit in the house. So I'm still trying to learn how to enter social world. But if you're in my space and you're telling me things and you want to learn and you want to grow more about yourself, which a lot of times people may not understand that they want to do that, but they're doing the action steps and don't know how to put the words to it, or vice versa. I just help you figure that part out in a spiritual way. That's all. Now, again, the social stuff, I'm learning. So I'll probably have something for y'all next month or next week. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So
I don't know. Not gonna put no pressure on it.
No, it's only been about 6 months, but you know who's counting. So you know.
Well, from Auntie says, first off, congratulations to Cicely and Stephany on your new adventures. First off, and
Thank you.
I interact with family and friends via house party and Zoom. When I meet someone on my daily walks and on my travels through the world, and then yes, retired since 2005 and loving every bit of it. So that's how she's spreading her spirituality, or expanding her spiritual space into those different venues. So for me, let's see, work and social, I don't see my life as different in any of those spaces. I think more so I struggled more in the beginning of my career of being an accountant, because I did not find that was part of my purpose, and it definitely was not my passion.
Hated it.
Hated it. It's what my mom told me, that I had two paths to choose from in my college career, because she knew that I loved math. She said, you can go and be an engineer, option number one. Option number two, an accountant. There you go. There's some choice for you. Which one? And
neither.
I was like, can I take the dropout method? And no, that one wasn't flying, even though I've been trying to drop out of school since I was 9. And so that's been my life story. And somehow I have a degree. I don't know how it happened. Well, I do know how it happened. My mama made it happen. So
I'm with that.
I became an accountant. So I will say, you know, when your parents make you do things, hey, you know what? Sometimes sometimes it's going to work out and sometimes it's not. I mean, I actually did not know what I wanted to do. So if you don't know what you want to do, kids, just still do what your parents tell you to do, because hell, at least you get something out of it and then you can go change your life later. That's it. That's the moral of that story. So um once I began, so I just wasn't comfortable in workspace, period. I just didn't even want to be there. So there was no way I even thought about implementing anything into my workspace.
Mhm.
um but as I started, as Cicely was talking about, aligning myself to my vocation, which really became more of being of service, and just using my talents, my skills, and abilities. And so, because I had an accounting degree, at some point I created a business because I was writing a book. And so, because I created a business and wrote a book, an opportunity was afforded to me to be an entrepreneurial coach. Okay, well, let me try that out. Then from there, I went into doing career coaching. I think I like this. I mean, I had already been doing resumes. I know, Lord knows, I wrote a million on my own, and then my friends and stuff. So that was a natural thing for me, and I was helping people. Oh, you know what? I think I like this, helping people and using my gifts and talents. And I actually went back into doing accounting work again as well, because I wasn't doing it from a place of, let's say, helping a business. I was helping people in their businesses. And so then I got a little more comfortable with doing that. And so as I became more comfortable in aligning myself to the types of work that I was doing, I felt myself be more comfortable in who I was becoming. And so I realized that I've always been a coach. I've been a coach since I can remember. I specifically remember when I was 6. And as Stephany was saying, people have always come to me with their stuff. That's This young girl came to me with some real heavy stuff at 6. And I just sat there and be in holding space for her to tell me her story. Now, I was just like, well, did you tell your mommy this? Because in my mind, you got to tell mommies. Mommies fix everything. Like,
Mhm.
I don't
They
know what to
do.
do for you, but you need to go and speak to mommy. And that was the best, advice I could give at 6 years old. But I held space to allow her to tell me this really awful, awful, incredible story that she told me. That no 6 year old should have to hear or go through. And but it didn't traumatize me. So
Mhm.
that's, in reflection, when I knew that, oh, so this is what I do. Like, this don't bother me. Okay, what else? What y'all got? Okay. So let me see. Okay. Because sometimes people just need to listen. They need somebody to listen to them. It's not always advice or, information. So
Mhm.
even though, I'm a coach, I don't necessarily always have to coach you along the way. Sometimes I'm just gonna listen and you can coach yourself along the way. Um, so I started realizing, wow, I'm in these coaching spaces because this is what I do. But then starting to look back, even during the time when I wasn't liking what I was doing in my workspace, I was always giving somebody some type of advice or listening to them, or they're coming to me. So I said, oh, okay. So I've always been in
Bless you.
space,
Sorry.
this space of helping people. This is who I am. This is what I like to do. So then I'm like, okay, well, let me just gather all my abilities, my skill sets that I have, and how can I formulate them into one place where I'm able to support people. So then, creating Live You. And so created that as part of an extension of the my workspace. And that's how I just do it. And so everything I do, I bring it to the workspace. Yes, I'm a yogi. Yes, I eat a certain way. Yes, I do this. And so I just be the example of how I live my life. I always tell people, you know, if you want me, like, you know, because people like to ask you to go to church or something like that. And again, spirituality and church are different, but people, you know, like to mix them and intertwine them. And they'll say, oh, you know, do you have a home church? You seem like you would be a person that, you know, goes to church and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nope, I don't. And so then if they invite me, and then I'm like, okay, that's cool, I'll go. But in my mind, I'm like, well, yeah, you don't follow none of them damn principles, but you know, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna check out your church. I'm gonna see what this is, you know, and I go. But then, you know, and then they want to talk to me about things, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to align your life a little better. So, like, I would rather you be an example for me of what to follow, as opposed to just inviting me to your church.
You know, that's funny because I was telling someone the other day, and actually yesterday I was just telling someone I made up in my mind a long time ago that if a person is going to give me some advice, they have to be following that advice. You cannot tell me to stop, you know, talking crazy to people, and this is what you do on this is your communication style. That's how you get your point across. You can't do that. So I made my mind up about that a long time ago. I cannot follow your advice if you're not following your advice. And then on top of that, if it's some bad advice, I'm definitely not gonna do it anyways, because you know I have my own mind. So that's the thing about spirituality. And I love the fact that I get to learn about different types of holiness. And I say holiness because it's so many of them. And I don't want to put it to a specific word to have it focused on a person or a thing or whatever. It's holiness because it's a feeling behind it that people get that gives them that energy, that to get up and keep going even through the battles. It's those type of feelings that I love to explore and I like to learn about. So I my knowledge is vast. I want to learn, read about all that I can, especially when I go overseas. So you know, I have to put that out there too.
I like that you said holiness. Because
Yeah,
if you start to dig deeper into holiness, holiness is wholeness.
it's
Mm-hmm.
holistic, right? It's
Hmm.
exactly, it's the
And
whole being,
so,
the whole person.
Right.
exactly. So, when you find those people who practice holistic practices as a practitioner of it, that's where you find holiness.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at them, you actually see a different air of it to them, and it's not arrogant, it's not aggressive, it's not, you know, it's a pureness to it. Um, but when you look around and you look at it, like you said, you can see it in different aspects of in cultural aspects, especially if you go around the world. But one thing about it is there's an authenticity to it that
Mm-hmm.
no matter where you are in the world, you gravitate to it once you
Yeah,
recognize it.
yeah,
And
Absolutely.
so um I think that's the part of spirituality that kind of separates spirituality from religion, because you can find wholeness in any religion
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
if they're a practitioner of it, and their
If
goal
they are a practitioner.
if they're a practitioner of, and if their religious goal is to be holistic, is to be whole, is to be healed, which most religions are. So that I like that you pointed that out, like, hey, I want to see that around the world, because you can find it around the world. It's
Yes.
not exclusive to one culture, one set of being, one um you know, one entity or whatnot. So I think that's something that could be learned by all, is that it doesn't spirituality is clearly, as you see within us, there's no cookie cutter answer to what it is, and it looks different for each one of us. The way we all tap in is something different, but if we continue to all be practitioners of our spirituality, and which means getting to know self more and finding what works for you, no matter where it is. If it makes sense to you, it really doesn't matter who else it doesn't make sense to.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
finding comfort in that. Because once you start to release the, um, I guess, wanting to be accepted by others and
Mm-hmm.
accept yourself for what it is, some of these things fall off. Um, it's a freedom in it, you know. It's really a freedom in it, and that's something that I thrive in. I thrive in that freedom to be exactly who it is I am called to be, and not what others are expecting from me. And not to withhold those, try to hold up the expectations of others. It's like, then when you meet somebody, I thought you was really, I get this a lot. I thought you was younger than that. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not. Or, oh, well, I thought you came from the south side of Chicago. You hear it in my twang. I did. Like, you get so all these different perspectives of it because you're young, because you come from Chicago, from the south side, or whatever it is, that you have to be in this box of what that looks like.
And you don't.
And then when you defy that and you're unboxable, people like, I don't even know what to do with that. Good, because I'm not here for you to do anything with it, right?
Right.
And so once you make peace with that, is that you don't have to fit into anybody's box, that you actually are unboxable.
Exactly.
That's the biggest way to chase after your spirituality, to stop trying to box it in and make it a one thing, because it's an all thing. It's a holistic thing. It encompasses every aspect of you. And so making peace with that is probably like the biggest step of achieving, no matter where you are spirituality, but making peace that it doesn't have a written path. Like, you have basic, like I said, the Bible, the basic instructions before you leave earth. Like, you can use that as a guide, but that is not a direct reflection of every single aspect of your life. You will not always be in a Job disposition. You will not always be, like in these droughts and things like that. And so once you realize it, that it's just not, it's giving you instruction on how God works in that space. Hey, you can call him when you're in this space. You can it's giving you different scenarios on how to guide your walk. Then it just becomes like, it's a freedom like that surpasses all understanding. And that's where that peace comes in that I speak about. And so, I just pray that everybody comes into alignment with who they are. That is my prayer for all. I know we come in closer to end of time, so I want to make sure we get all our whoop whoops and shout outs out, and how you can reach us. So you can whoop whoop us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Spotify, on our website, because you definitely can hit us up there. Subscribe so you could be all in our tea and get the hottest of tea, be the first to get the hottest of the tea. What else? How else? And slide in our DMs, because they're open. We open to questions, comments, concerns, anything that you want to hear being discussed. We're open to discussing. I ain't gonna say anything, but a lot of things.
Right. We're not talking about everything.
Yeah.
Like retract. I retract my time. But
Make
yeah,
sure to subscribe to our what is it? Our monthly
self-care
inbox,
subscription.
self-care
Yes.
inbox. Subscribe to that.
Mhm.
Subscribe to our newsletter. Go onto the website and subscribe to the newsletter. Let you know everything that's going on. Just to let you all know, next week we'll be talking about benefits of your spiritual wellness. So that's what we'll be talking about next week.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
And just
Anything?
remember that I know we giving the shout outs, but just real quick, remember that all healing starts from the self. Everything begins with you first. It doesn't matter what you do, where it is, what's happening, what's going on around you, because life is going to keep on, as Cicely would say, lifing.
Oh,
So
do
it's
be
going to
life.
continue to do that. But you have to figure out how to operate in that lifing process. And everything starts with you. So you don't have to be, wearing robes 24/7 and all the other stuff. You don't have to do that all the time. But you do need to establish a routine for yourself that works for you and that's going to help you improve your overall or holistic life itself.
Absolutely. I
So we have
definitely.
there's some little comments. Whoop whoop whoop. From and then Tiffany Jones says, "Hey Stephany."
Hey Tiffany girl, hey friend. See, I found her.
That's the fifth
That's a
piece.
message.
So
You must
that's four.
have
That's four.
spiritual
Wait, no,
message.
2, 3, 4. Look, 4. I found her.
That is funny. She count them. We making her social.
That's
That is so
right.
funny.
That's
Yeah, of
right.
course, y'all
And you
know.
know, and that's so funny because and that's so fine with me. Like that is fine with me. I meet a lot of people who are so surprised that I'm, like, are you okay? Is everything? No, I'm fine. Like I'm wonderful. Like I love me in my own little space. I am a true Cancer. I will stay in my shell. Like I will look out the
Look,
blinds, like look at them acting crazy. Thank goodness I'm
look,
inside. Look at, won't he do it? Like let me stay in. Like no.
foolishness. Let me foolishness. Come on out. Come on out. You know, I have no idea what my house is. Y'all know I don't, but I do know I'm social as hell. Like, like
So
I be outside.
you
I,
so
I
sure.
be outside. Outside do be outside and too. But I also have limits to the outside and too. So so I get it. I definitely get it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing is respecting it,
Mm-hmm.
not to, if you want to come out yourself, I'm out here, girl. But if not, cool. I'll be back, right? I'm that type of person, right? Like I ain't gonna push you out because what I realized. So my child is a Cancer. If y'all ain't know that now, he is. And one of the things I always notice, like when he is, like you said, he lives in that shell, and I just be like, you know what? You could stay in there. I'm gonna be right back though, right? So I've learned because when you pull them out when they don't want to be out, they crabby, but they for real crabby, and then it just ruined the. Listen, you can't be funking up. Look, we messing up,
Look, ain't
funking,
nobody gonna have fun now. Like, that's how ain't
funking
nobody
up
gonna
my feng shui because that's what be happening. And I be like,
fun
bruh.
over for everybody.
So let me let you stay in your shit. You want something back from, because I'm about to outside, right? And that's really how you have. I've learned to handle that because I'm like, hey, when you force them outside of their comfort zone, them crabs be crabbing, baby, and I ain't got time because I be trampling over them like you gotta die.
That's right.
I be really
Everybody
about
fun over for everybody. No, everybody
yeah,
fun over for everybody. Everybody.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
was
I'm this place though is funny. Is teaching me how to. I figure that this place is going to teach me how to be social. And I was telling Ciara this, like it came to me out the blue, and I was like, but why? We was fine with what we was doing. Like we don't have to change all that stuff. We was good over here. Like
Not but why?
yeah, like why would you do that? But no, this place
yes,
is
moving
Look,
different places
look,
will
it's
bring
nice.
newness out of you. That's
yes.
definitely will happen. But that's the thing about life. We have to change. We have to grow.
Yeah.
We have to improve. If we don't, I mean, you don't really have to. You can stay the
You
same,
should.
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's
You
not really
be
going to make this journey fun if you're
you meet some old miserable people, girl. They be
We
like,
sure do. We sure do. And
dang.
growth happens outside the comfort zone.
always.
Absolutely, there is no growth and comfort. You are absolutely right.
So if you don't want
And
to grow, then hey, stay the same.
remain complacent, remain still.
Right. Do what you always been doing. Knock yourself out.
No big
The
deal.
universe will also bring something to you to make you change, though. Just to let you know. So when that time comes, don't have a whole heart attack because this is gonna happen.
I'm gonna say do what you do. I just can't sit here with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna knock it. If that's what you
I
want to
just
do,
can't
that's
sit
cool.
here with you.
You like it, I love it, but
We're
I'm
gonna
out.
end on that one. That I love that one. So,
So yes,
ladies, it's been wonderful. As
throw them
always.
cootie free kisses.
Thank you, everybody who chimed in and saw us during our live. You all will have the replay on Facebook and on YouTube, as well as our website. So you can, always go back and see it from the beginning to the end. So,
Tell the DJ to stomp on the replay. Boop, boop, boop.
Sponsor a boo.
sponsor a boo, right? Well, I swear to God, we
Definitely.
really do have to get out all of Cicely's fans because
We do.
these are valuable. These are jewels he be dropping on
Yes, they
y'all.
do. All the
Shoot.
time. All the time.
Facts. We're gonna get that on a shirt. Sponsor a boo.
Yes,
Live
there you
you,
go.
sponsor a boo. Yes, definitely. Namaste, out of our way. We love you. See you next week.
See
All
ya.
right.